and welcome to the Resources Roadhouse. I'm Wally Graham and I'm at the 2025 RIU Uranium Day where I'm having a chat with Jon Scholtz from Argonaut. Now, John, you've just done the opening address here at the conference. Interesting sort of insights. From what I gleaned was that it looks like no matter how much uranium we do manage to produce, we're never going to have enough to meet demand. So does that mean we should give up?
I don't think we should give up. It just means that we need incentive pricing there to incentivize the next level of supply. We must remember that at the end of the day, uranium is an abundant resource. It's just low in terms of mineable quantities and needs the right pricing environment to get it all out. If we had the right pricing environment, we could chase a lot of this uranium resource down. Also, in the timeline that I was speaking about, there will be periods where a massive project such as Rook 1 comes on and fills a lot of that gap. So there'll still be cyclicality in the market, but overall, you're correct. If we look over a 20-year period, we really need to be chasing our tails and getting more uranium coming on constantly.
All right, and as we know, in Australia, there's a bit of an embargo on the uranium mining. Should that lift, how would that affect global supply?
Got great projects in Australia, in Western Australia, that are ready to go if we had the support of the government going for it. And I think it's one of those that even if those came on and we turned it around, we're still chasing our tail. So I would argue that it's one that needs to come on just to be able to have a sniff of being able to get close to the demand that's required in the future. So one thing we need.
So, like in the immediate future, investors, if they're looking for a uranium investment, let's say, would they be wise to concentrate on Australian ones, or maybe companies that might be chasing supply overseas?
Yeah, and it all depends on your risk appetite. The way we looked at it at Argonaut is producers, near-term restarts as being able to benefit from this part of the cycle. So we cover 8 names at the moment. I do think there is a lot of delta in a name that has an asset in Western Australia, because if the legislation does change, you get extra delta from going over there, and there's a lot of delta to be gotten from being in a basin that's maybe not that well explored, maybe outside of Namibia, maybe be in Mauritania or be somewhere else. There's a lot of aspects which isn't a traditional uranium investment, but could have a proper tailwind in the next cycle.
So you did have the slide up that said, the 8 companies that you do cover, 8 uranium companies. Any of them, are they focused in Australia, or are they focused overseas?
Yeah. So the biggest we have there is Kazatomprom. It's the biggest producer in the world. They produce in Kazakhstan, as you can imagine. So the biggest name out there, and it's good to have the biggest so that you can view down from that. Boss is a producer in South Australia, so the Honeymoon operation, and then we have Paladin doing the Langer Heinrich operation in Namibia. The next phase that is coming on is Lotus, which has its operation in Malawi, producing now. And then of the next phase of coverage, we have Namibian, Mauritanian, and Australian explorers within that.
All right. So there is a bit to watch in the Australian market, isn't there?
There is. There's a lot of names that have operations locally. Obviously only one listed producer and BHP, but there's a lot that are near development, exploration ready. It's a market that's always enjoyed uranium and uranium exposure and gets a tailwind from being able to fund these explorers to do it. And it's a market that needs the funding because we need the exploration to carry on going.
All right, John, thanks very much for your insights. It's an interesting sort of an area to look at. Uranium does have a little bit of let's say, a cloud hanging over it in some sectors. Some people, we do need to. Some people know we shouldn't, and all that. So, there's always going to be that part about it. If people want to know more, they contact you.
Yeah, happy come through to Argonaut. We have some great dealers, some great research, and happy to chat on the space and resources in general.
All right, no worries. Well, thanks for being part of the Roadhouse, and we'll hope to catch up soon.
Excellent. Thank you very much.